and also are required in appropriate cases to send matters from their law courts to LMDC. But you know that over the years now, judges have to make returns as to how many matters they have dealt with, they have, the judgments, the rulings, etc. So there may
be their performance evaluation.
Exactly. So there may be some temptation to want to hold on to as many doable, let me use that word, cases as possible within the quarter. We also have made representations on their behalf to the NJC so that they can have the performance review committee also give consideration and acknowledgement to cases that judges, because sometimes it can take you a much longer period to have a matter amicably resolved than it can take you to write a ruling on a matter which may be kind of straightforward. We like it to be part of the culture of our people here, such that the time will come when, if you have a matter to litigate, rather than perhaps urging your counsel to file a matter in court, you will first stop over here at LMDC or some other ADR center that may be available, so that you do not think of any pugnacious approach first.
Now, I know you've talked about the role of judges as regards performance evaluation and even lawyers with the criteria for Senior Advocate of Nigeria. But what other kind of reforms would you like to see with the services of the Lagos Multi-Door Courthouse?
We need good faith amongst the parties, amongst our people themselves, and they need to be educated that, well, justice delayed is justice denied. They need to be educated on the fact that the law courts cannot just, in any human, with any human consideration, be expected to deal with all the matters that are being lumped on them all the time. And there is some selfish attitude about the party. When a party files a matter in the law courts, he assumes that that is the only matter that the court has to face, not knowing that, in fact, at the end of every day's job, by the time you get to your chambers as a judge, maybe more files are waiting for you. Then we have issues with space. You can see that here we are. It is part of the premises of the Lagos High Court. But we can make do with premises, large premises, because the space constraint may sometimes affect the confidentiality requirement of mediation.
Let's look at the judgments of the Lagos Multi-Door Courthouse. How are those judgments enforced? What's the procedure?
The governing council of the LMDC itself, it does have 2 serving judges, and they are ADR judges. And from time to time, you have at least 3 ADR judges in Lagos State. And the ADR judges have a specified function. And generally speaking, they are to encourage ADR mechanism, to encourage settlement of disputes by ADR. Secondly, when a party comes here and the party has gone into agreement, if there's settlement between 2 parties and the settlement is endorsed by an ADR judge, that resultant agreement is enforceable as if it were indeed the product of a High Court judge. It's enforceable in the same manner as all court judgments and orders are enforceable under Section 11 of the Sheriff and Civil Process Acts. If it is not endorsed, it is enforceable nevertheless as a contract.
Let's round off with the Lagos Settlement Week. What essentially is going to happen during the Settlement Week? Well,
a Settlement Week is an important calendar on the list of Lagos State Judiciary, and it is a time which is set aside by the Chief Judge for the resolution of matters which are amenable to amicable resolution. Previous to that time, the judges would have been requested to go through their files and to make available files and matters in respect of which amicable resolution can be expected. And the matters that are chosen are then brought here, and during the law week the courts do not sit. We used to have settlement week before. There used to be just one. Now we have two. We have, there's one next month from about the 4th to the 9th of June. There is another one in November. And we have the use of the various courts because the courts do not sit. So the constraint of space is yes, is.
And people can walk in, apart from those that come from the courts. People can walk in during the settlement week to get their money.
Indeed, and what is more, those who bring their matters here during the settlement week, they are exempted from payment of administrative fees, and they will be attended to in addition to the matters which are sent here by the law courts.